Good morning, traders. It's Monday, March 14th. We are about 2.5 hours into trading. Let's get going. First of all, I want to put up my blog and I'm going to go through my pre-open market comments. You all have access to this, and I will leave a link in the description area of this YouTube video so that you can sign up and follow me there. Day traders, don't buy the early gap up. This is a relief bounce. Downside will be tested. The ideal scenario is a wimpy bounce with mixed overlapping candles. And when that stalls, that's going to set up a nice short. I view that as a 20% likelihood. That is our ultimate scenario this morning. So let's take a look at what the market did. Mixed candles, overlapping, wimpy bounce, upward sloping trend line, breach to the downside, bearish 10p cross, hello, short. Also, in the chat room, I just mentioned, hey, you know what? I'm short right now, been short, made 25 points on this S&P move lower, and I think that we have a chance to continue to go down, but since this is the low of the day, I want to make sure, so I'm going to take profits. Here you can see, this is at about 10:55, so about 20 minutes ago. If we only bounce for 20 minutes and then attack this level, we are likely to take out the low of the day, and that could lead to a bearish trend day. That was right there. Only had 2 bars of reprieve, and then boom, long red candle. Now we're on the low of the day. I believe we're going to see a bearish trend day. Pete, what's got you so bearish? I'll tell you in a second, but first, let's take a look at the previous trade that I highlighted, ACAD. Wait a minute. ASNA. ASAN was our short. And they had just come out with earnings. My last video was on Thursday. Let's take a look at the 5-minute chart. Let's go back, see how the stock was doing. And as you can tell, yes, this is a nice winner for us. So the stock was down right in here, probably around the $37.50 level because I recorded an hour after the open. And the stock is currently, let's take a look at where it is right now. Very weak stock. Week after the earnings announcement, major breakdown, 32. $5 winner. Gosh, probably 15, 17% winner if you just traded the stock. How the heck does he do this every time? It's because I follow a systematic trading approach. That's what all of this is about. So let's take a look at the daily chart. Oh, but Pete, you got lucky. You were short and the market went down. That's why you made money on it. Yeah, well, you better figure out what the heck the market's going to do. That drives all of your trading decisions. So you better get the market right. If you are not paying 100% attention to the market and getting the market right, then you have a 75% chance of failure on whatever trade you do. So you better get the market right. So yes, of course I was bearish. Had a great bearish pick, but I was also bearish on the market. That's why I focused on that side of the trading. So right now you can see this was a nasty bearish engulf on Friday. Took out the previous 2 days. So weakness, downward sloping channel. I see this selling pressure continuing. We've got the FOMC meeting on Wednesday. That's when they'll release the statement. Everyone's expecting a 1/4 point rate hike. I think that a 50 basis point could actually be good for the market. And I think that the initial reaction would be negative, but after 2 or 3 days, the market would recover on the notion that, hey, the Fed wouldn't hike 50 basis points if they weren't confident in our economic growth. And that would be temporary bounce on that news, but that's how I would see that scenario playing out. A 25 basis point rate cut will initially spark buying because it'll be a relief rally. Whew, better than feared. But I don't think that's going to last for more than a day or two because everyone's going to be worried. Whoa, how come the Fed didn't go 50 basis points? They're so far behind the 8 ball right now on inflation. They got it completely wrong. They got the magnitude wrong. They got the duration wrong. They need to catch up, and they're not doing that. So I think a quarter point rate hike could be bearish for the market. Initial reaction good on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Look out below. By the way, quadruple witching. There are going to be lots of positions that are getting squared. So we're going to have some volatility. Tuesday, first half of Wednesday, calm before the storm. Getting a little bit of activity here today. Got news. The news has not been good. I mean, it keeps mounting on the bearish side. Goldman Sachs has lowered their earnings estimates for the second time this year for the S&P 500. Now they're looking at 5% earnings growth. Was 8%. That's a substantial haircut. We also have COVID cases rising in China. The biggest reported, I say that in quotations, reported since COVID broke out 2 years ago. So they are going through non-essential lockdowns. So non-essential businesses are being shut down. They've got cities that are shutting down. If you think that supply disruptions right now are an issue, just wait. When they start shutting down, this is going to be a growing problem. Yes, we've got the whole war situation in the Ukraine unfolding. It's not going to be good for economic growth in Europe. So we have a lot of things right now that are looming, but I don't need to have all of that information. I see this downward sloping channel. These channels are really stubborn and they have a tendency to continue for quite a while, and they ultimately are resolved with a big sell-off through the bottom end of that lower end of the channel. So that's what I'll be watching for in the next 2 months or so. For right now, I still think we've got more downside. So that's where I'm going to be looking for opportunities. And I've promised to do a little bit more education. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to use a custom search feature that I probably have not spent enough time on. So I'm going to bring up custom search. And let's assume that I'm looking for a bearish stock, which I am. So what we'll do is we're going to use a trend tool feature within Option Stalker to identify opportunities. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to look for trend line 60 breach. So this could be used across any of these time periods, but I'm going to go farther out and go with a 60-day. So now we have a trend line breach 60 to the downside. What does that mean? What kind of chart could this bring up? I'm also going to add stock below prior day's low, heavy volume today, good option liquidity. I'm going to click search. Okay, these are our candidates that are coming up right now. So the only way that you can have a bearish breach on a 60-day trend line is if you have an upward sloping 60-day trend line that is violated to the downside. That would be bearish. So let's take a look at some of the candidates that we have here. First, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into a daily chart. That ASAN, that was a beautiful short. Now, if you start looking visually, you can see the breakdown of a 60-day trend line. So ARCC, that looks like an excellent short. Still have horizontal support right there. I'm going to keep the longer term moving averages off. I'm going to just click through. There's another gorgeous one right there. Really, there's your uptrend line. I can use TL60, but I don't think, and this automatically draws the trend line. I don't know if it'll draw it because it's been breached. So we're going to draw, yes, it did. So there's your uptrend line. And Option Stalker, I have this programmed so that it knows how to calculate these trend lines. DOCS. Let's drop that 60-day trend line. There you can see. These are really nice trades. DOCS, that could be my pick of the day. Any of these could be. Let's see what we've got. There's another one. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4 touches breaking on the downside. Very nice. That is how you use this search right there. Let's put up the TL60 so you can see how the line was drawn. And in this case, it's not allowing us to draw it. This is one I spotted earlier, LVS. Look at that. That is a nice breach. We've got a new low below horizontal support, big gap here. I like LVS. That is going to be your short of the day. So Pete, what happens if I want to find a bullish stock like that? Does it work like that too? Well, yes. So now we'll go trendline breach 60. So what would this be showing me? Well, I would have to have a 60-day downward sloping trend line that is breached to the upside. That would be bullish. Well, I don't know how many stocks we'll have above the prior day high, but let's add that. Heavy volume? Sure, those are always good. Let's see what we come up with. All right, well, we got 3 candidates, so let's take a look at them and see what we've got. BNTX. There we go. I can see that. That's pretty nice. Not a huge fan of bottom fishing, but right now in a weak market, stock that's moving higher, there's your 60-day downward trend line, breach to the upside, mRNA. You can visually see that. I don't need to overlay it. Pfizer, very nice. Pfizer also, I believe, getting through a longer term moving average. Yes, there's the 200-day and there's the 100-day. Pfizer looks pretty good through the 50-day and the 100-day. That's pretty good. But I'm not buying Pfizer. That is not my pick of the day. Why not? Looks good. Because the market is weak and I am bearish. And because I feel that the market is going to continue to go down. We've easily taken out the low of the day here, really on the first attempt, because this was just one bar that barely even bounced. And we're going to continue to go down. We still got a bearish 1OP cycle. Everything tells me that we're going to continue to drift lower today. So focus on the short side. LVS is your short of the day. I showed you a number of others that I like just as well. Overall, market not doing so well. Once this day is done, if we get a bearish trend day, expect Tuesday and Wednesday to be pretty light. And then all hell is going to break loose after that FOMC statement, especially with quadruple witching looming on Friday. You're going to see a ton of market movement. So be careful. Let some of that volatility settle down. I will be more inclined to short a big rally off of that FOMC statement than I would be to do anything else. I will be flat into that number, and I'm going to watch the reaction. Thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. Are you guys making any money on any of this? Let me know. That's what's going to keep me motivated to do these videos. I'm doing fewer of them, not getting a lot of response, putting really good trades out there. So I'm not sure how to get this cooking, but you can help me. Please spread the word to other people that you know that trade. Thanks. Good luck with your trading. Thank you for watching this YouTube video. I'm Pete Stolzers, and I'm going to keep the trade ideas coming along with lots of education, so make sure to subscribe to the channel and please turn on your notifications so that you never miss another trade. If you like the content, please give it a thumbs up. I've loaded 2 other videos that I think you're really going to enjoy. Stay tuned. We'll see you soon.